How are you?
Good, Ian. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. And thanks for rescheduling. I know I was meant to do it a few days ago, but I got tonsillitis. So thanks very much for squeezing me back in as the week wore on. Thanks, guys.
All good. Have you recovered?
Yeah, I'd still like another extra day off work, but I've had a few. And a Red Bull, that'll get me through, sponsored by them today. Anyway, so thanks once again. Anyway, guys, I know it's super early where you're in Queensland, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's even earlier. Okay, so thanks for that. All right, we'll get into it. You got the Talking Up with His Legend. Your EP, the story obviously I've read about the EP was that gets released. You have to stay inside because COVID kicks along. It's finally out. You're now out on tour. How have you boys managed to cope with having an EP that then can't be done, and now a few years later being able to go full bore and get it all out there?
I think probably just mastering the art of not getting too excited and just business as usual kind of thing. It was pretty not devastating. It was pretty shitty for us at the time because the week that COVID was announced as a worldwide kind of bug, we were about to leave for Japan on a tour with Captives from Melbourne, and we're so stoked about it. We've been building for it the whole time. And then going into, we obviously had to cancel that. And then going into the few months after that, when things started to lighten up again, and we sort of got told, oh, we can go outside and do the things. We had a whole nother national tour booked. And then fucking one by one, the shows just got cancelled, and we kind of just shut shop after that. And yeah, as you said, we didn't get a chance to do anything for that EP cycle at all, really, until the other festival.
What other festival?
Hey. He's off already. He's off.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I guess coming back into where we are now, we've just been really trying to master the art of just like taking it one at a time and not getting too caught up in that side of it. I think a lot of bands kind of gave up and just went fuck it and
Too hard.
Yeah, too hard. But I think Hammers as a band, because we're kind of all based or rooted in that best mates kind of ethos. It was more about us just maintaining what we could, and we function a decent kind of business. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. I don't know, what can you do? It's like you can fucking whinge about it and not do anything, or you just keep adjusting and finding ways of getting around it.
I think it was good to, like, it wasn't good that we had to stop, but I think it was a chance to reset as a band. And because we had to practice a bit of patience during that time, we couldn't play the shows that we wanted to play, and everything was slowly taken away from us in terms of being able to share what we'd created. So like Lucas said, it forced us all to grow a bit of patience and just like sit on what we had, what we created, and wait until we can do it now.
Yeah. So then you go and you have dropped 2 videos when Kings Collide and Cracker Night off that last EP recently. What's been the considering it's from a few years ago, what's been the feedback like now that they've dropped and you're back into the swing of things?
Yeah, sick. I don't know, man. It's like we're not like 20 years old or anything. I don't know if you can tell. But, and like for myself personally, I've been doing this a long time, and you don't really expect much anymore. Like you kind of just hone your craft and sort of sit back and just release your music, and to know that it's still like we're turning up to shows. Like we're not selling out 1,000 cap rooms by any means yet, but we're still turning up to shows and seeing a whole demographic of people from 18 right through to our age and even over sometimes. And it's really cool to know that in some form what we're doing is still relevant. It's still kicking off with people, and we're having fun doing it. So I think that's
Yeah, I think for me anyway, the focus isn't always on how it's received. It's how we connect as a band together to deliver what we've done the best way.
Which probably translates anyway.
Yeah, and I think people see that. Like that's the feedback I've gotten, is that our connection, our chemistry on stage kind of translates with the music as well.
Well, that leads into a question I have actually written down, and I'm already seeing it here as well with the Laurel and Hardy acts that you 2 have got, right? I can tell which one the straight man is and which one's the comedian already. So But it actually isn't something, because like when I listen to the music, there's obviously a seriousness that's about the music that comes across and how you present it and such forth. Lyrically though, and your videos especially, there's a real kind of piss take element there. I'm not a big fan of the term Aussie larrikin. It kind of bothers me a little, but certainly you have the self-deprecating sense of humor that comes out. And there seems to be a revival of that happening in Australia at the moment, because not just you guys, the Chaps, Cosmic Psychos, and bands like that. Do you feel that you guys are at the forefront of kind of a revival of core Aussiness, maybe?
I think, okay, so I'm gonna take this one if it's okay, Ruckus.
I'll sit back.
But to be honest with you, like, again, it probably has a bit more to do with our vintage and the fact that authentically, you literally are seeing, like, you get what you see and you see what you get with us. Like, we all grew up with ratbag dads, the heart of that era. I've been working in trade since I was 12, 13 years old. And I've been on job sites my whole life. And we're all kind of in a similar boat in a different way. We just do literally what we're doing without too much thought other than a basic. So we get together, we have our practices and we'll have a shit talk and yarn about different ideas and come up with a couple of stupid themes. And between all of us, we kind of just, something ridiculous happens every time. And we kind of just fucking roll with that. I feel like I'm stoked to see it. And obviously in a time when the world is riddled with this woke culture situation and there's a lot of people pushing some boundaries and stuff, we're not really interested in that shit. We don't really care what people think about certain things, but at the same time, we're not bad people. So we just roll with what we feel is right for us in the way that it's authentic to who we are as people, as dudes. Like if you come and had a beer with us at the pub, you'd see the videos in front of you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the best way that we could probably explain it. Like there's no contrived bullshit in the makeup of this stuff. It's just us doing our thing. And we are normal people, like we're just normal dudes. If we're at the forefront of that sort of stuff, like I respect and appreciate that. But at the same time, we're not trying to do anything other than what we do as a band. And the larrikinism you refer to, which is a bit of an overused term, we are fucking lads. That's what we are, and that's what you get. We still love and respect women, the fairest species of on every level. We are accepting and open to every single walk of life on this planet. We have nothing to fucking judge or say about anyone, and we don't really give a fuck what you do, but we're still going to do our thing. And if that's part of it, then that's kind of it.
Yeah. Apart from VB, in that video, surely the VB's taking a piss. You're in Queensland, it's got to be Great Northern. Seriously.
Oh, don't touch that cat's piss, mate.
I watched the video and I was like, what do you say, chicken twist?
I can't drink, mate. I'd rather have fucking dishwater. So for me personally, believe it or not, if I'm going to a pub and it's on tap, which is quite rare up here these days, it's a traditional 4X bitter for me.
Yeah.
The other boys, Rick loves his Melbourne bitters, Fish loves his Melbourne bitters, you love your Melbourne bitters. They're all confused. Fuck those blokes.
When you get to South Australia, we'll get you on some Coopers. The Coopers is not bad.
We all love Coopers. We actually all love Coopers. Yeah. Green. Yeah, if you ask it, like red's one of my drinks of choice.
Yeah. I had a green Cooper last night.
We both had a green last night.
Just one.
Well, there you go. Perfect. So with the talking up with his legend, I suppose, I think you maybe answered this already, but delve into a bit more. What is it that you're looking forward to with doing the tour, both individually, collectively as a band, and of course with his legend?
Oof. I think it's a bit of a spin out that He Is Legend for us as a band is collectively one of our favourite bands. It's one of the few bands we all agree on wholeheartedly. For me personally, I'm excited to get to meet these dudes. Like the prospect of meeting like your peers, like people that you look up to musically, and getting to tour with them and show them parts of your country. Like it doesn't feel kind of real just yet. Like it's hard to articulate what that's going to be like, but I'm really pumped just to share the stage, see them do their doing thing in the flesh.
Yeah, and I think also too for us as a band, logistically, we're also so excited to just do the country one more time again. Like we need to do more of that and keep. It's obviously, like don't matter how old or young you are, you essentially just want to grow this into a cool thing and be able to play to more people. And obviously, yeah, like he said, sharing the stage with legends such as He's Legend, it's an honor and a privilege. and you know it's going to be fun. They've been rad to deal with as well. Like they've been awesome dudes, and I'm actually hanging as a guitarist and as a riff pig. I'm hanging the nerd out with Adam and talk riffs and guitars and all the things that are, you know, nice and fun.
That's I did interview them a few days ago, and you just get this real laid back. They're just happy just to play music vibe. There didn't seem to be any pretentiousness. There seems to be a very welcoming in vibe that comes from it. So based on now having spoken to both of you, I think you'll get on like a house on fire. I really do.
100%. I think with that band, like obviously we've been aware of their career for a long time, and they are legitimate within their scene. Like we all listen to bands like, you know, Every Time I Dies and the Bronxes and Maylines and all those bands that come from that same period. He's Legend are one of the true heroes of that scene amongst all of those bands as well. So they were essentially a scene band in the early thousands, but they've gone on to just morph into this super complex and sophisticated, beautiful fucking alternative rock / metal band. And realistically, they've never needed anything other than their love for music to do what they're doing. I think we can relate to ourselves. Like, well, I've personally, as a musician and a songwriter, I've had every success and pitfall you can have in the music industry, and I'm still just a humble tradie that loves playing a riff. And they're kind of in the same boat over there. You know what I mean? So there's definitely a relativity between the two bands on that level where all of us just froth music, and then we get to, you know, share time. So.
Talking about, you're mentioning there that you like them sort of bands like Every Time I Die in the Bronx and such forth. What is the influences and inspiration for your own band?
For myself, for myself as a writer, like I can't really do anything other than what I'm doing now. To be honest, I don't really have literal influence anymore. But I've grown up on everything. The pivotal bands in my life have been things such as Maiden, Soundgarden and Caius, Helmet, Alice in Chains, through your extreme metal like Meshuggah, Botch, Dillinger, Converge, Coalesce, into these newer generation bands like your He's Legends, Bronx, Every Time I Die. They're all bands that we probably, Alexis on Fire, there's heaps of reflective shit there, but there's definitely Hammers just doing Hammers. We're just, and as a writer, I'm just doing my thing for my band. So it's a hard one to, you know, I'm sure there's heaps of stuff in there, but yeah.
And what about you? You've been fairly quiet. You've been the quiet guy here.
Ask him something.
Me? I think that it's hard to, there's not one specific band or one specific genre that for me is as a drummer pull inspiration from. I like, my music taste is quite diverse because of him. But like Pink Floyd, U2, early U2, I think.
Yeah, we both froth on U2, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Not even.
No, I love it.
Early U2, I can understand. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and I think this band in particular, you just play what serves the song, and like without trying to overthink it or complicate it. What does this part? What does this music need? What does this part of the song need? And just kind of doing that. I think.
Yeah.
And it does its thing.
Pink Floyd, by the way, kind of they fuck up your algorithms. Straight, I'm on Google in the last couple of days, and I'm like, let's try and find something out about the band. And I'm obviously I put Hammers in. I'm getting Bunnings, so I go, oh, Hammers band, and I'm getting fucking Pink Floyd. And I'm like,
probably his fault.
My bad.
Yeah.
It's just hashtagging Pink Floyd and everything.
So what's obviously you got the tour with He's Legend. I know you've been doing some shows recently on the Gold Coast anyway. What's next for you guys after the big national tour?
A sleep in.
Sorry, man, that's me.
Well, I've kicked off right in the record. So, I mean, we haven't done a full-length album as a band. Yep. So after the 2 EP cycle, like we've got a couple of notches on the board already, and we're just going to keep mowing through that. So hopefully by the end of the year, you know, we come out of this tour, maybe do a little headline tour of our own. Might try and visit some regional areas. And there's a couple other things I'm looking at, but they will or won't come to fruition. But primarily just focusing on finishing the record and getting some more funny content out for the crew. Accompany it with some couple of decent riffs here and there, maybe.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. And I think because I'm hitting the edge of my limit now, so I will ask one last question. Because there'll be people in Adelaide who will go to the show, they won't, not just in Adelaide, but in Australia, but who will go to the show and not know who Hammers are. Now, I can obviously give my take on it, and I will when I do the write-up, but how would you describe your band?
Oh,
One word, fun. Two words, fun and loud.
That's 3.
I mean, oh, it's hard. I don't know. I've never been asked to describe Hammers. I think we're charmingly obnoxious. Fish has a way of captivating you, even if you don't want to be captivated. Like he just grabs your attention, and I think our chemistry on stage with us, regardless of what's going on out in the room, we're having fun, we're having a good time, and if you know, everyone has a bad show, you play a bad show, you know, you're not feeling or whatever, but our chemistry's, for me, it's so intense that like you can kind of feel each other when, you know, when you're in the groove, when you're having a good time, when you're having a bad time, and by the end of the set, you're all vibing with each other. And I think that
we all fall in love every show.
Yeah, every time.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's the gayest, straightest band you've ever seen.
That's a tagline right there.
He's right. Like, essentially, it's just us doing that as hard as we can till we're finished.
Nice. Very nice. Well, I think you're down here on the 21st of May. So obviously I'll see you guys then in what's that, about 8 weeks, 9 weeks time. So see you guys then. We'll go and have some Coopers when you do get down here, whether it's the green one or not. Or the red one.
Is the brewery for Coopers in Adelaide or is it out of Adelaide?
You know, that's a really good question. The West End Brewery has shut down. That's gone.
We should try and visit it.
You know what? You know, I don't know. I'll find out and I'll let you know. Because the West End one's was right in the city, but the Coopers one I've never looked for, but they sponsor everything. You can't go anywhere and not see Coopers. So I'd be shocked if it wasn't here. A really good question. I do the questions around it.
Sorry, Russ.
All right. Well, on that note, because again, I appreciate these guys having to reschedule for me. So thank you very much. I know it's very early in the morning. I think you've got to go to the gym as well. So I will let you guys go and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, mate. Thank you.